if it was illegal to say stupid things into a microphone.
Why must you be so stupid?
These guys would be doing life without parole.
Hey, everybody, we're back from prison.
Why do we keep encouraging this kind of behavior? It's the Breaking the Ice podcast with Josh Dolan.
You know, we could, go to jail for this.
Along with Mike Shue and Isaiah Moskahana Bonsa Monablitz Boskowitz, whatever the hell his name is.
All right. Look at these people. Do I have to have them?
Nope, they're in a public area.
People buy me.
You're in a public area.
I don't think it's gonna be. You're gonna sit right down next to me. That'd be great. I'll put you on the show. Oh, fucking amazing.
Isaiah talks to white people. Okay.
What?
Can you hear the fan in the background?
No.
Okay, good. Because this room
you're a
is
fan?
hot this room is hot
okay.
as balls.
Because I have a fan on me right now, too, and I was like, oh, no, you can hear it?
Yeah. If I shut it off, I'll just start pouring,
No, if there's any wind, just blame it on Isaiah. He's walking around in the wind.
Now you're wicked loud, Josh.
Am I?
Yeah, back away from your computer just a little. Ooh, they're cleaning out the bathrooms here. Look at this.
Happy birthday to anyone that has a birthday today, whenever you're listening, watching.
Oh, wow.
This. Yeah.
How, why is that up?
It was Laura's birthday on Saturday, and
Oh, nice.
I felt like it should be a presentation this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What'd you get her?
Absolutely.
I got her a lot of drinking utensils, if that's the right word. I don't drinking things. She likes cups and mugs, which I think every chick does. But
Right.
I got her a giant cooler Yeti mug thing. It's like half a gallon because she's trying to drink a gallon of water a day, which I thought it was 8 glasses, but I guess it depends on how big the glass is.
Water can't hurt you.
Well, it can.
Yeah, actually, if you drink too much, it can kill you. Actually, that's been proven. That's why it's always a fine line.
Don't do it all at once. You drink 2 gallons of water, you should die.
That's right.
Also,
Doctor, we got to tell Dr. Bernard, ask him about that.
Right.
What if I drank 4 gallons of water in 30 minutes?
I feel like he follows around ding-dongs that do stupid shit. It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
I drown myself. Also, talk to Mark Wahlberg in The Perfect Storm if water can hurt you.
Right. That kind of water definitely can.
And then I got her an Apple Watch.
Wow, Josh. That's
Ooh.
fancy.
Took all the sponsorship dollars and gave it to the wife. I like it.
Took that unemployment check.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you
I
for the
love
extra
stimulus.
$600 a week.
I love coronavirus. Is this what Bernie was talking about?
I think so. Before he ran away with Lee up there in Vermont.
Yeah. I changed my stance. I'm voting for Bernie.
I actually I reached out to Joe at
Boston
one of my
Exterior
sponsors,
Remodeling.
Boston Remodeling. And I can never get their fucking name right.
Exterior Remodeling.
Yeah, he just does the outside. Yeah.
Now I can't hear either of you. This whole thing just went to shit.
Yeah, because you're in Ireland now. Where the hell are
Yeah,
you?
you're outside.
And that's just that. I can't hear either one of you.
Are you in Scotland? Did you see the Loch Ness Monster?
Right? Did you kiss the Blarney Stone out there? Huh?
Nothing.
Get the gift of the gout?
The gout is not a gift, my friend.
Oh,
all right?
no?
You do not taunt the gout, all right? Because the gout will come and the gout will kick your ass. I don't care who you are.
I drink a lot of beer and eat a lot of meat. That should keep it away, right?
Oh, yeah. Eat all the shellfish you can and drink all the beer and wine you can. Yeah.
Oh, is it a shellfish thing?
Oh, yeah. Shellfish, red meat, fried food, beer, wine, everything that makes life meaningful. It's a cause of the gout. Yeah.
So every day I'm unhealthy, according to my wife, because I have beer at dinner. I like at 7:00 is my first beer, and then
Seven?
Yeah. And then I eat most days. And then I eat pizza almost every day and a large order of fries. Laura eats a shrimp salad almost every day. So she's unhealthy because she's going to get the gout.
Well,
the gout.
Well, you've got the lycopene in the tomato sauce in the pizza, which is really good for you. It's an antioxidant, and it helps your blood flow. So, and the beer, of course, if you just have that one beer for the day, that's also very healthy for you.
I didn't say one. I said my first.
I didn't think that. Yeah. And again, I'm not a doctor, but
Also, I don't have a hose pointed at me while I'm drinking my beer like you have been.
Well, that's how I don't drink so much. I have my daughter.
Podcast.
When I get to beer number 6, then just spray me with the hose when I start getting out of hand, like a dog.
Your next video should be you eating that Italian sub with the hose.
I would
that looked like an
do that.
amazing Italian sub.
Oh yeah, I was down in Norton, and it was the produce barn down there in Norton, right up the street from Ron Emma's in Norton. On
I love Ron Emma.
Yeah. So right
Ron
up the street,
Emma's
there's a place called Produce Barn, and it's like that old school, like it's a supermarket, liquor store, hardware store, all in one. And the best thing about their sandwiches is that they cut the meat to order. They slice your meat to order. So you order an Italian sub, they'll slice that meat for your sandwich specifically. They don't like slice it and let it sit out. And it was good. It was really good. So if you're in the Norton area, I'd go to the Produce Barn. Where's
the Norton? The South Shore?
It's right next to Mansfield. It's like right up the street from the Xfinity Center.
Oh, that's not far from me.
No, it's pretty good.
Because that roll, like, I'm not a big Italian sub fan, but that one looked like I wanted it.
That's my favorite sandwich of all time, the Italian sandwich. It's got everything in it that's awesome. Also bad for the gout because it has cold cuts.
Oh no.
But,
why is it places like that make the best sandwiches? Like the half convenience store, hardware store.
Right.
And then they make sandwiches and they're always the best.
And they give you the gout.
It's probably the ingredients. They have like really good meats there and stuff. They've probably been doing it for 100 years too. So.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, that post is going to guarantee I get an Italian sandwich today. That looked good.
You know what made it? It was the orange peppers that made it, man. Having that orange or green pepper in there on a hot day, that's all I got, babies.
Oh,
so
that's good stuff.
Yeah, there's a place in. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead, Josh.
I was just going to say there's a place like that in Manchester, New Hampshire that I always get chicken salad subs from called Candia Road Convenience. And it's
convenience store, right?
Yeah, it's the best chicken salad ever.
Yeah, you just luck out sometimes. Like in the South, when I lived in Virginia, if you took a drive out to the country and you're in the middle of nowhere, Virginia, you stop at a gas station, and almost every like independently owned mom and pop gas station had fried chicken and potato wedges that were kind of like seasoned a certain way that they only do in Virginia, and they were always friggin' awesome because it was like mom and pop cooking them, and it was delicious. Man. Yeah.
Unless you're an heir and you order chicken, you get a feather with your chicken. So
that's gross. they never had places like. I moved to Florida for like 5 years, and obviously being from New England, you've got to have like every town's got the house of pizza that just absolutely blows your fucking mind. And I went to Florida, and there was no. I'm like, just give me one little local pizzeria with like the Sicilian guy going, what can I get for you? I love shit like that. And they're little holes in the wall too. They're never a chain.
You'd think that like with all the people from the North that moved down to Florida, there'd be a few decent pizza places all over. But
I'm sure there are some, and I'm not giving it all the credit in the world, but it was Central Florida, and I just feel like it was a bunch of strip malls and shit and whatever.
It is. It's all strip malls in Florida. It's unbelievable, man.
And
it's
Mickey Mouse.
Super wide roads and strip malls and stuff. Look,
Corinne.
Corinne.
Talk to me.
Hola. Oh shit.
Holo.
Yeah, girl, Corinne.
Where are you?
I'm outside.
He's in Ireland.
I'm on the lam right now.
He's being chased by the feds. Yeah, he fraudulently submitted for a stimulus check, and
this whole podcast is hiding.
Yeah, we're just. You don't need to know where the fuck I am.
Jesus, is your wife finally kicking you out?
She just said, "Get the fuck. If you're gonna do this stupid shit every week, do it outdoors."
This is the time of day where it's 11:11. This is the time of day Isaiah
make a wish.
Goes to the park and creeps on teenage girls. So he's kind of multitasking right now. Yeah.
I believe that.
And speaking of that, our next guest, Chris D'Elia.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Oh. Wow.
Now, wait a minute. Let's talk about that for a sec. He's claiming that he didn't know they were teenage girls. Is that right?
Really? Really? How do you not know?
Well, sometimes it's hard to tell.
Have you been on TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever been to a mall in the past 2 years?
No, Dad, I haven't actually.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. Well, yeah, I'm the father of a 15-year-old girl. All right, and it's not
Well,
like
then
when
you
I
can
was in
spot
high
them
school.
coming. They come into your house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Can
they
you guys
look a lot
explain to
older.
me what's going on? Who is this
You haven't
person?
heard about Chris D'Elia, the comedian?
First of all, why do you sound like you're in outer space right now, Josh?
Lean back away from your computer there, fucking microphone boy.
I'm plugging in the fucking microphone.
Yeah, plug in the mic.
I mean,
You guys
Josh.
told me
Using
not
a
to.
mic.
Hey, Corinne, this is fucking a solid performance we do here every week. We have no idea what we're doing. We just yammer about nothing, and then we stop.
Oh, I watch, and it's hysterical. But it's all
fucking-
because of Shu. Shu's the funny guy. You guys
Yeah,
are
thank you very much. Yeah. Yes.
Don't fucking
That's my
pump up
Worcester
his
girl.
fucking
That's my
ego.
Worcester girl right
Shut
there.
the
You
fuck
still in
up.
Worcester, Corinne? You still
Dude,
in
I'm
Worcester?
trying to move back. I live with my parents right now in Rhode Island, and literally there's nothing for sale in Worcester that's in my price range. It's like
Wait, are you looking to rent or buy?
rent and buy, whatever one.
Because
Mike has a room available.
You want to help me pay my mortgage? There's a ton of stuff I see for sale over here in the trendy West End, but it's the trendy West End, so you're going to be paying for it.
Hey, Corinne,
I can't really afford anything over like $250. So it's
nobody ever says I'm moving from Rhode Island to Worcester. What the fuck was that?
What are you talking about?
Said no one ever. You already got out.
She's looking to step up to move to the heart of the Commonwealth. Okay,
to go from Newport to Worcester. Good move.
Worcester's the greatest city in New England. So
listen, don't fuck with the woo, dude.
No, do not fuck with the woo.
Don't fuck with the woo. That's my home now. I miss it so much.
They're cleaning it up,
man. They are. They're making it beautiful. It's
You
taking
need
a
to
long
clean up
time,
Isaiah.
Hey, fuck up. Nobody. Next, stop it. Listen, nice blonde hair. I like it. Looks good.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Do I sound better?
Oh,
yes,
you're
you
here
sound
still.
Awesome.
Okay. We should have just
Wow,
went with Mike in the beginning.
voice of God, Josh Dolan.
Hey, you know what? I don't have my mic plugged in because my stuff crap, but I'm just going to have my mic here because I have microphone insecurity.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's like a security blanket.
Yeah,
Wait,
so
is that a sure?
Yeah.
SM7B, that's the one I was telling you to get.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to get that so bad. It's just so expensive.
Easy.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
Oh,
wow.
God, we have a lady on.
Do you have the
yeah,
race?
I'm sorry.
My dick's massive.
Sorry.
We're good.
Good.
Okay,
Thank you.
Corinne's got a bigger dick than all of us, Isaiah.
Hey, do you have the do you have the racist cock, Mike? Bring that up.
What?
Oh, you want to see the racist cock?
We're gonna
Where is that?
need
Oh,
it.
here it is.
Oh, we're gonna need this on the show. In case you say something fucking dumb, Corinne, he'll pull this out. Oh, that's the racist cock.
Oh, that's the race. That's hysterical. So we
Makes
can
him-
say that Bubba Wallace is a joke.
Bubba Wallace is not a joke.
He's
No,
not a
he's-
joke.
He's not a joke, but you guys saw that whole noose thing was fake.
It was
Well,
like it's been in there
allegedly.
for like 2 years. Oh, allegedly, stop it. It's another fucking ploy.
No,
they're
it's-
calling it a garage door pull. That's what they were calling it.
Yeah.
Why didn't anybody see that before?
Because nobody thinks of race when they see a garage pull door thingy-majigger. But because now there's a black male in there, we automatically are like, oh, it looks like a noose. This is
Because
racist.
2 years
Someone
ago,
put this
people
here.
weren't losing their shit.
It's ridiculous.
Well, don't
It's
you
like-
think people are losing their shit for a reason, Isaiah?
I
Yes.
do, but every single fucking day, it's getting a little bit much on both sides. You know it as much
On
as
both
I do.
sides. Yeah, it's extreme on both sides, and we got to watch out for that.
Had
But
enough.
there is a
Had
reason
enough.
why people are speaking out. Don't say
And there's
that.
no question.
You know.
I have no issue
100%.
with that.
And
No issue.
I think they should have walked with him even if there was no noose in there. I think that
Right.
you saw that, right? Them walking with him and in the car and stuff.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
like that just
yeah.
because it's showing unity. Like NASCAR
Sure.
is
Right.
racist, dude. I don't care what anybody says. Like I grew up on NASCAR. It's a bunch of
Yeah.
white
How
assholes.
about
that
if there's more
Confederate
black
flags
racers?
everywhere.
There should be more black racers. That's
there
a
should
whole
be
fucking
more
problem.
black
Black
guys in
ev-
hockey too and everything else. Yeah.
There's a couple of good ones in hockey.
At the same time, though, don't you think that we shouldn't be forcing stuff like that? Like we shouldn't be like.
Oh, I don't think
saying,
it's
well,
forcing.
we should
I think it's
we should
segregation.
just have should have an African American driver in NASCAR because there's not enough. But at the same time,
Because
they have
that's
to be of a
just as
certain
offensive.
because
Somewhere
there
they're
has to
being
be
blocked.
they have to be of a certain. Yeah, you're right, Isaiah. It's a good old boys network, and they're being
Right.
blocked at some place. But you're talking about a professional sport where safety is a serious issue. you can't just have someone in there that's not qualified. You know, at the
No,
same
I'm
time,
talking
so
about-
we
I'm
should
talking
enforce
about
that too.
the governing powers that stop certain people
Yeah.
from getting in. It's not just black and white.
Absolutely.
Could be
Yeah.
Jewish, could be Chinese, could
Right.
be whatever, anywhere. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
you know what? Where are my Chinese brothers and sisters in the NASCAR community?
They're too busy
right?
being doctors, bro. They have better things to do.
Right.
Like,
Maybe
what are
it's
you
all
talking
white
about?
people because they're stupid enough to think NASCAR is fun.
Hey, NASCAR. Hey, wait a minute now. You got to go to a race. Watching NASCAR on television is like the most boring thing in
It's
the world.
awful.
But when you go to a race, it's like a friggin' concert, man. I mean, the ground shakes when they start up the cars. They're
pretty
flying
intense.
around at 200 miles an hour. There's chunks of burning rubber flying into the sky. There's a guy with a huge beard next to you with chicken in it, and he's hugging you because friggin' Rusty Wallace just got out of the pit before Bill Elliott. You know, it's
There's
freaking
Confederate
awesome,
flags everywhere. Confederate
well, yeah,
flags
that's
on
the
every
one
car.
thing. Yeah, the Confederate flag thing is believe me, I lived in Richmond, Virginia, and I walked down Monument Avenue for 8 years. I drove up and down and walked up and down that street wondering, why is this the avenue of second place trophies? You know, why do they have these guys up here who were like leading an armed insurrection against the United States? I always wondered that, you know, and finally they did something about it.
I just think it's really funny how people don't think that the Confederate flag is racist. Like growing up, I'm 28. We had them everywhere in my town because I grew up in like a cow town, and every single time I saw it.
Corinne, where did you grow up? Real quick.
Dayton,
Where did
Massachusetts.
you grow up?
Dayton, Massachusetts. So it's near.
I thought you were
Taunton.
talking like you. I thought you're talking like you grew up in North Carolina somewhere.
I grew up in Mississippi, and everybody.
I know where
hates
Dayton is.
Dude, Dayton, we have a cow chip festival. Like, it's Farmville, okay? So don't tell me it's not a cow town.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's a bunch of little white kids running around with their stupid Confederate flags and G'd up trucks because their dicks are too small. So, I mean,
whoa, bam.
Just being honest.
Good.
But
Doesn't want to go back home.
yeah, no, but we knew from a young age it was super racist. So, like, I don't understand why now in 2020 we're having this issue. I think it's ridiculous. It's like, grow up. If you're offending someone from a flag that we know is from racism,
Also, it's an enemy flag.
Well,
it is,
you know, Josh.
technically.
You know what, Josh? I agree, but you know, if someone is of German descent or Japanese descent, and they want to fly the flag of, like, say, the country they emigrated from, you know, they should be able to do that, even though we are at war with those nations. And someone should be able to fly the Confederate flag. That's part of the First Amendment. So go ahead and fly the Confederate flag, but just know that that's what it means. Now, if a government wants to fly that flag over their state house, that's a different issue. If a police station wants to fly it, or a post office or something like that wants to fly a Confederate flag, that's a representation of the United States, and to me, that would be wrong.
But to me, flying like a Japanese flag or a German flag is, you're flying a flag of your heritage. A Confederate flag, to me, isn't your heritage. The German flag is not the Nazi flag. I feel like that would be
exactly.
like
That's what I was
Nazi
thinking.
flag in Germany.
Mm-hmm. But I get what you're saying.
You just said a minute ago there, Corinne, you wanted to know what happened. Media has fucking happened. In the last 20 years, it's out of fucking control. Not just radio, TV, social media. Everybody has an instant fucking voice, and everybody's wound up so fucking tight. It's insane. It's insane.
Well, so Bubba Wallace is upset right now because I guess the issue, I was listening this morning, is that the NASCAR didn't want him or anyone to talk about it until an investigation happened. And then he did anyways on CNN with Don Lemon.
Good.
And then that's when all hell broke loose. And
shocking.
I think
CNN or Fox, they're all fucking just.
Don't fuck with Fox. Fox is bae. Don't fuck with Fox.
They're both just fucking churning out bullshit. You know it. Agenda-driven television.
No, I don't agree. I think Fox at least has facts. I think it's so funny. Like, I was watching last night Sean Hannity with Mark Cuban, and he was asking Mark Cuban like a bunch of questions, and Mark couldn't answer any of them, and he's voting for Joe. And I'm like, Mark, you're supposed to be super smart and an entrepreneur. Why would you vote for a fucking Democrat?
Don't get me wrong. I didn't just say vote for fucking Joe Biden. He's as fucking stupid as Trump. I'm just saying.
I want to talk
the media,
to Shu, though.
Yeah.
Because Shu, I think, Shu and I have very different views on politics.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I would love to hear it. I would love to hear about you and your politics.
We don't waste time talking about politics all the time.
Oh, come on. What about Chaz? What do you think about Chaz?
Bye.
Bono?
Chaz. Chaz
No,
Bono?
not Chaz Bono.
Chaz Bono is a pioneer
the place in Seattle,
trans rights,
right shoulders.
He's in Seattle.
The new town in Seattle.
They have a nice wall, some nice guns. I thought they were.
I'm trying to imagine. Dumb. I'm trying to imagine what that place smells like.
Oh, right shit and piss.
Because people are. It's turned into like a little mini Woodstock, right? So you have those people that go in the community, but where are they shitting and pissing? They're just doing it in an alley or in a 5-gallon
Well,
bucket.
no, the mayor gave them porta potties.
That's
but still, how often are those getting cleaned?
Yeah.
Well,
seriously.
I would like to know if I was a taxpayer.
Concert,
that's
those
for
things
sure.
are nasty.
That's gross.
I just, and then guys protecting the area with guns. That's, we were just talking about the Confederacy. Isn't that kind of like what this is? It's like an armed insurrection against the government.
Do they have a Chaz flag?
They're doing it, they're doing it, I guess from it stemmed from the Black Lives Matters protest, but is this helping the cause at all?
No.
And then what's happening?
Matters is an excuse.
And you see what's happening inside the perimeter there. There's like graffiti. The place is just getting destroyed, and that's
art.
You're not sending the right. You're not sending the right message. If you want to appeal to mainstream America, you gotta like alter your message. The purpose that it's just like a bunch of dirty hippies in there, and they're partying, they're having bands and stuff, which is great if you're out in the middle of a field in like Rutland.
But, if you're at Woodstock,
it's fun at Bonnaroo, but
they've got like a taco stand and stuff. But I don't know. That's just, to me, that's just going to end poorly at some point. Either there's going to be a lot of people getting sick with like dysentery or
coronavirus,
food, maybe something like that.
We're already starting to kill each other.
And with and I work stuff.
You've turned into Sloth Goonies.
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that. I hate Zoom.
His internet connection.
I love you, Chunk. I love you, Chunk.
Baby Ruth.
I love you, Chaz.
Baby Ruth.
We're getting to the point where we're getting to the last Zoom podcast. Fuck it, we just need to get together next time.
I hate Zoom so much, Corinne.
I'm so exhausted by these.
Me too. It's horrible quality.
It's awful. Yeah, I don't know.
They're making $1 billion a minute though. Zoom and Microsoft, whatever the other one is, and Ring Central, they're making bank.
Oh yeah.
I think everybody's about to jump ship.
Corinne, how is your podcast going? I've watched a few of them. Fucking funny. And the Millennial Minute you do with this knucklehead, very funny.
I don't know. I'm
just fucking around. It's good.
It just is hard because like I want to get back into radio and I really want to watch my mouth and be careful. And I just feel like I'm not going to get back into radio because of just my podcast. If a PD were to listen to my podcast right now, I don't know if they would be like, yeah, let's hire that girl.
No, you won't get back into radio because radio's got some issues with, we all know, we've all been in radio and been
nobody's getting back into radio.
It's not saying nobody. I mean,
I don't know about that, but
it's
Corinne,
at a very small level.
Corinne, you've got an awesome personality and you're really good at what you do. And even though you'd be on here saying fucking shit and all that stuff, a PD, a real PD will recognize that and know that you'll be able to temper that when you go on and you'll have to follow FCC rules. Don't give up. You're a talented woman. You can do it.
Thanks.
All right? You're awesome.
I appreciate that. It's just also, you guys see, like, I like to talk about politics, or not necessarily politics, but like just like social issues going on. So like, for instance, Charlamagne the God and the Breakfast Club had on recently a conservative Black woman that's running for Congress in Atlanta. And like, I wish I could talk about stuff like that on the radio.
You can.
Yeah, but a lot of PDs don't want to do that.
Just do it on your podcast and see what happens, because your podcast could become larger than any radio station before you know it.
Yeah.
If companies like iHeart keep chewing the fucking thing down to nothing, you know damn well that people that run iHeartMedia have said they want it to be an AI platform. You know what that stands for? No people. And only certain people, like in Boston. I mean, who's Kiss 108's Maddie in the morning, and then what? It's all pre-recorded shit. It's unfortunate what's happening. Get on a podcast and just talk. You're fucking, I second what Mike says. You're very talented. Very talented at what you did. We all have our own talents, and you just do it. And if people don't like it, fucking move on.
I think that's the key to a successful podcast, is that you find what you're passionate about. The passion will come through, and then that's what makes it good. You know, if you're passionate about what you're talking about, it's real, and people want that. They want the realness. You know, at least they want it. At some point during the day, they want a serving of real, and then when they want to take a break from real, they'll tune into something else and they'll listen to they'll listen to some top 40 radio or something to escape that. But the people recognize what's real. And so, keep doing your podcast,
you just said you like Fox, right? Do you follow Kennedy on Fox? Do you watch her?
She started in radio.
Exactly. And she was on MTV and all that happy shit. And boom, I look at you and I think, okay, here's a girl
I would dream to be Kennedy, but she went to law school. Like, she knows what her shit.
It doesn't matter. I mean, again, like Mike said, pick your swim lane and go. There's no reason you shouldn't call all of the networks and be like, bitch, here's what I'm doing. If you're interested, let's go.
Listen, Corinne, Greg Hill didn't even graduate high school. Okay. Never went to college.
Wow.
Okay. And
he's doing all right.
He's an extremely intelligent man who, worked his ass off to get where he is today. So there's no formula. All right. There's no formula.
Now we can't explain Josh Dolan, because if you go down that
yeah, I don't know what happened there. No, we all know. Josh Dolan, and I always say this and nobody believes me. He's from an Amish sex cult. And he escaped from an Amish sex cult where he spent most of his life, and he's been sheltered.
How I got to where I am today. I won a contest. Okay.
I won a contest.
I won a raffle, and they let me on the radio.
Jesus Christ. So all the stuff we said before is good. The Josh story is a complete anomaly. We don't understand it, but we love him and he's here.
I can't.
You'd be traditional radio.
Yeah, well, she understands this, though, that we have kids. So it's not as easy for us to, pick up and go.
Yeah.
Because
we have responsibilities. Yeah.
Well, even more so, do it from your living room. Start and just make noise in your living room with your kids.
Talk to me.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
I'll do the intro for your show. Let's go.
Yeah, it's Corinne. It's like it's so much easier now to do what Isaiah is saying. So at least we've got that going for us.
Yeah, I gotta think more positively.
Well, no, I know, and it's hard. No, it's hard, right? It's hard to think positive because it's so overwhelming and happening during a pandemic.
How many years did you work at AMP?
God, my head's gonna explode.
How many years were you at AMP?
I've been in radio for like 10 years.
Okay.
So I've been doing it for a while. It's just, and I've been like in Tennessee, I've been in Philly, I've been in Boston. It's, but what was I going to say with that question is, Shu, you said, what I am excited to see is after the pandemic is done and people can finally get out, how many people will finally stop posting and stop podcasting. So it lets people like us who actually want to do it for a living.
Interesting.
Like really get in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just because I went to Guitar Center and I was going to buy a microphone and all this stuff. They're like, we're out of everything. Like everyone's bored. Everybody wants to do a podcast now. And I'm excited where, I mean, I don't hope anything bad for people, but when people are like not really passionate about it, can go out and go do something else, we can stick around.
Well, you've got a good following. Like the reason I was asking is you spent 10 years building a following. You've got people that like what you do. Feed off that. Mike does,
yeah, but I feel like people think that I'm like a washed-up radio girl now.
Don't worry about what they think.
No, they don't.
Not at all. No way.
They still want to find a way to listen to you because they miss you on the radio, but they like this platform better because now they feel like
they can hang
out with us.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not like this uniform, like, all right, we talk for 30 seconds real quick, and here's this song.
And you don't have to go batshit crazy and go way off the rails with stuff. It's just people, if I liked you on the radio, I only got it wasn't like you did a talk show. You could certainly, but I could tell you could sustain one. Fuck, I've known you, short amount of time, but you could. You just fire it up and talk about things.
And now you don't have to worry about what you say. You're not looking over your shoulder the whole time.
And you're not looking at
everybody gets that
radio
every station. Everybody gets the internet. So you're reaching more people.
And think about it in the app. So you were at AMP for what, 8 years, 8 of the 10? Or how long?
We'll say, no, 6.
Okay, well, there are people that followed you and there's people that sponsored things. And when you get to a certain point with your agreement, don't fuck with it right now, but you might be able to reach out to some people that really enjoyed your fucking show. And you go to them and say, hey, that's what we did on this show. The people that are partnered with us, we've got 4 partner sponsors. And guess what? They liked WAAF. They liked Mike. They liked me. They liked Josh. They listen. And we joke all the time. We're like, how do you sponsor this? And they're like, you fucking knuckleheads make me laugh. And we're like, all right. Okay.
Yeah, you guys are really funny.
We're just talking about talking about nothing. We're being ding dongs.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You're exactly
Corinne,
the same way.
Listen, Corinne, you're not washed up.
No
you aren't.
Fucking way.
You're 12,
first of all.
First of all, you're young. You're much younger than I am. But
oh God,
you've got a lot of talent. And there's people with a lot of talent never get washed up. They just adapt and they move on. And that's what we're doing right now. So, it's overwhelming, but you'll do it. You'll make it. I know you worry about providing for your kids. Yep. I worry about providing for my family. That's the front of my head every day. It's right there, it never leaves. And it's overwhelming, but you can do it.
And I'm sure
you guys never talk to me like this.
Because you're say it. Go. You go out.
You don't have kids. I just feel like kids are a whole new level of things. Like, because I don't raise my daughter, my 4-year-old's walking around saying, Mama doesn't have a job anymore, so she can't buy me toys. And I'm just she's
not helping. Oh, come on.
It's just it sucks, And then I live in my parents' basement. So I'm like, I feel like I'm back in college again where I'm trying to find a job. It just is. It's not my life. I've had a job since I was 15.
It's a reset button. It's a reset button. Think about this. I was in radio for probably, 28 years, soup to nuts. I started when I was 19, right out of, I barely got through high school. Barely got through high school, college, broadcasting school, did a lot of fucking dumb shit. Radio saved my life and was in it for a long time. Watched a lot of fucked up shit from 1990 to, 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, after doing all the on air, all the production, all the sales, I started my own business. You want to talk about fucking scary? I just left and said, fuck it, I'm starting my own agency. And it was goddamn scary. But Mike said it. You got to pivot. You got to fucking reinvent yourself. Now I get to do all the creative, all the writing, all the producing, all the selling, all the pitching. It's all
amazing.
Isaiah now.
And now you live somewhere in Europe and we don't know where you are.
I know.
Hold on.
Look at that.
Hold on,
look at that. Scotland looks beautiful this time.
Look at that.
Where the fuck
that's
are
lovely.
you?
Yeah, baby.
Are you on the set of the Holy Grail?
We're back on scene. See, and now, Corinne, I have a castle. That's not my castle.
Hey,
where
Isaiah,
are you in
Isaiah.
what is it called? Where do the vampires live?
Transylvania.
That's what I was thinking of.
Isaiah, can you get that castle in the background with you for a second? I just want to try something. My name is Indigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Nice. Yeah.
Thankfully, I knew the words.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, man, it's the best TikTok ever.
Is that from Lord of the Rings?
Look, this is what's wrong with Josh.
Josh, don't tell me
the next time I see you.
Don't tell me you never saw The Princess Bride.
Don't.
Oh, with what's her chick? That chick?
Just say Whitney Houston. Screw it all up.
No. What's her
You've
name?
never seen The Princess Bride?
I think Laura was watching it the other day.
Corinne, it's so fucking painful.
Hold on, let me look it up.
Oh, yeah, sure. We'll just stop.
This is movies. What is wrong?
Corinne,
with
this
you?
is this time in the show where I get up and walk away.
Every time. I'm just gonna
get the racist chicken.
Yeah.
Get the
Anne
racist
Hathaway.
chicken.
Anne Hathaway is in it, right?
Racist cock. Get it right. Oh, my neighbors are probably working. Wow, I'm yelling that in the neighborhood.
Yeah, let's.
It's like Josh in the middle of the night, just going outside for no fucking reason, hiding in bushes. I don't understand it.
He has to, because if he wakes his wife up, she will kill him.
We live in one room.
Wake her up with your penis, guy.
Wow.
I mean,
where's the racist cock?
Why is that racist?
It's not. We just call it that.
Oh, look at the cock.
We've never said anything racist on the show.
Also, we've gone over this. I've tried it, and she says no.
Oh, I can't deal. I can't.
At that point, I'd like to say our show is sponsored by Garage Doors Plus. Garage Doors Plus. And also Boston Exterior Remodeling. And Invoke Media Group. And Wolfpack Coffee.
See,
there we go.
Corinne,
hold on, Isaiah, Josh, you should get a sponsorship with Rogan. What is it called? Rogaine? No, what is it called when you get your Roman, that new thing Roman where it helps you with your dick.
Ramen?
No, it's this new male enhancer that everybody sponsors on their podcast.
Is it called ramen? Do you put your dick in boiling water and then it gets bigger?
Ooh,
is that what it is?
Josh tried that. It didn't work.
Ow!
I like this chicken flavor. Yeah.
Oh my God.
We should some kind of action.
My mom didn't know what American Pie was, and I had to explain to her how he puts his penis in a pie.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, that's right.
What's his name again? The guy.
Jason Biggs.
Yeah, but what's his name in the movie?
Oh,
It's
I forget.
The father's
Jim, it's okay. We all do it sometimes.
No, we don't.
We'll
It's okay,
just say we
Jim.
ate the whole
Sometimes you
thing.
feelings.
Johnny Rose.
Johnny, exactly. The father is Johnny Rose in Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, Eugene Levy. Eugene Levy.
Awesome.
Guy's
I didn't
amazing.
realize the son in that and the girl behind the diner counter are his kids.
Yeah,
that's a funny show. Schitt's Creek is a fucking great show.
Yeah, it's great. It's got Chris Elliott in it, so it's got to be awesome.
Have you ever watched that, Corinne?
I have not. And right now I'm trying to go on Complete Sheet like a radio geek and see what's going on in the world today so we can actually talk about that.
They still let you into the Complete Sheet? Wow, they shut my thing off.
Can we have your password?
They let me go. Yeah, can we use your password?
Oh, no, I have somebody else's. I have somebody that still works in radio. They gave me their password.
I love that you're still radio geeking and like, let's do some.
How do you know somebody in radio? Is someone
radio?
Hey, well, you want to talk about something since everything's reopening. I'd like to talk about what the city of Providence and the gentlemen's clubs down there are discussing, and that's opening but having the dancers outside like everybody else is doing, outside on a patio. And then eventually when they move inside, the dancers will have to wear masks and gloves, and the stage will have to be surrounded with the plexiglass like you see in stores now, like the supermarket and stuff like that. Like a spit shield at a salad bar almost. Or sort of.
How do you throw the money?
Well, these people have tits in their face all the time. They think they're gonna get sick.
They can't. Just leave it alone.
How much do you want to take off the mask?
Shout out to Cadillac Lounge. Well, shout out to Cadillac Lounge in Providence. I've been there a couple times, and literally, I'll never forget this porn star went in, and like she put her tits in my face. They were so sweaty, and I was just like, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm gonna catch something. So like, if I didn't care then, why are we gonna care now?
Yeah, strip clubs should just stay gross. That's all.
Her vagina was like right in my face. Like I don't know.
Yeah, you can't put a shield in front of that.
This is why I can't be in radio again.
Yeah, that one comment right there. You're never getting hired. I beg to
do you guys get jealous if like your girl would like a strip club?
Why?
I don't know. Shu, would you?
Went to a strip club?
It froze up, so I didn't hear.
His internet's amazing in Worcester.
I know. Look, I have my router right here. Look, that's my router. It's touching. It's not fucking working.
It's gonna make him insane.
Dude, would you get upset if your wife liked to go to strip clubs?
No, I kind of wish she did.
I know.
I love
I encourage this behavior.
Yeah, I mean, she's asked me a couple times if I'd take her, and I said yes, but then we never really got around to it. But
then the Corona
killer would be mad about that.
The only problem is they're super expensive. I can't, I'd rather go to a dive bar and buy, $1.50 drafts of Gansett than.
It's all about the experience, though. Like
that's true. Yeah.
Like I don't know. All of my ex-boyfriends hated that I liked going to strip clubs. I swear they got jealous.
That's why they're ex-boyfriends.
Yeah, there's something wrong with them.
If they don't like you for you, get rid of them.
I think it's because I'm bisexual, so they think that like I'm gonna go walk around and fuck.
What the fuck is wrong with that? They're insecure. You can be whatever you want.
It's a common guy thing. It's insecurity.
Stop being fucking insecure.
I'm not gonna fuck a stripper. Like,
but unless my wife did, so what?
Or maybe you do fuck a stripper. It's up to you.
No, I'm good. I'm very good.
Like why would you?
Strippers need love.
Josh is like, I don't fuck at the house, so maybe I should go to a strip club.
That pussy's gonna edit that. I guarantee you.
Yep.
He's such a bitch.
No, she doesn't listen. She doesn't listen to this podcast, but this will be the one. This will be the one time.
She does listen to Corinne's podcast.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, right.
She'll be listening, going, "What is this talking about? Our sexual behavior or lack thereof?"
Hold on, let me get it. I don't know if Shu has a lot of sex. Mark down this time.
Isaiah, I doubt your wife fucks you every night.
Nope. No.
Yeah.
But when we do, it's good. Well, for me, I didn't say for her. I didn't say for her, for me. She's amazing.
Andy leaves the glasses on.
Yes.
This is because I'm outside again.
You fucking the castle, don't you?
That's right.
Roof.
Right in that little bird's nest there.
I put my head out that little thing right there. Oh, finish. Finish.
Do a little
needed-
jousting. Yeah.
You need to take a picture on top of the castle naked with the cock thing on over covering your penis.
You're never getting a job in radio, young lady.
No, but I'm telling you, that would be the perfect photo for this podcast.
TikTok.
Isaiah's done that. Haven't you seen our Instagram lives?
Oh my fucking God, those are awful. God, you delete all those. Those are dangerous. Woo.
I can't deal.
Yeah, neither can we. We keep doing it. This is like our 40th one. I don't know why.
Yeah.
This is a random ass question. I don't know if you want to go down this road, but Shu, how are your kids holding up with the COVID and stuff like that?
I just have the one 15-year-old daughter.
One girl. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And she's actually been really great in all
She's an
seriousness.
awesome kid, first of all. Amazing parents.
She figured out what was going on. Like first, I lost my job, and she figured out that wasn't good. But then the pandemic thing kicked in, and so she realized what was going on. She stayed pretty informed on the whole thing, and I mean, it sounds like I'm bragging, but she's just been great. She kept up on her homework, even though it was much, much less than what it usually is. And the only thing is her sleeping habits have gone to my sleeping habits when I was 22 years old. Like she'll
14 hours a day.
She'll stay up till 3 a.m, and then she'll sleep till 2.
I like that.
And I couldn't really complain because she was getting her homework done, she was getting her chores done, and she'd be up all night talking to her friends and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's that kind of worries me.
We're back to the Goonies.
Oh, I stopped again.
He tries to be serious for one segment and he can't get it out.
Well, I really liked hearing that she went and asked you to protest. I thought that was really sweet because I'm very close with my dad, and if I needed him to do something with me, I would feel comfortable to ask him. And I thought it was just really nice that she asked you and you went with her. I thought that was really awesome. I don't know.
Well, I think she was going to figure out to go whether I said she could or not. But to me the important thing was she convinced me to go because she convinced me that it was important and that we should. Even though I feared for our safety, it's something that worth going.
Yeah, it's a part of history right now. It's just there's so much shit going on.
Educate yourself.
I was afraid to discourage her from that because later on, if there was something she felt strongly about, and then she would think back and go, "Well, my dad said we should just play it safe and not get involved." And that's not how I want her to live her life. So, but that was all her. She convinced me to go.
Very mature of
my
her.
wife to go.
Listen, let's cut this shit, Mike. You and your wife are great parents, and I'm not just blowing you.
Well, you don't live with us, so there's a lot of stuff.
I get it, but I've known you long enough, and I mean, I years and years and years ago when I met Mike, and Mike is a fucking human chimney, smokes more weed than fucking whoever smokes the most, right? So when he had a daughter, it's kind of okay, how are you going to handle that? And it's a dead serious question. It's educate. We're going to get to a point at some day. I mean, Mike and I used to do all kinds of stuff with one of my clients, the Harvest Cup, which was just smoking like a fucking chimney.
I love those guys.
So cool.
Yeah.
But I was how are we, how are you going to address this with your daughter? He's like, the time will come and we'll address it. And Mike, you've been great with that kid, and she's a great kid because of you and your wife. That's it, period. Whether it's Black Lives Matter or weed or fucking some protest or just learning about shit.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Corinne, but I mean, my main goal is to arm my kid with as much knowledge as possible. So when it comes time for her to make a decision, at least she's kind of knows what's going on when it comes to drugs or drinking or sex. That's real stuff. You just gotta you just hope that she makes the right decision. And I think that's like that with every parent, pretty much. You just you want to make sure they make good decisions. That's what life is all about.
Yeah, I was actually talking to my mom about this last night because I was like, how did I do this? Have 2 kids out of wedlock, lose my job. I'm a hot mess. I wasn't raised this way. This is just all over the place.
You're being challenged. That's all.
Well,
you're just being challenged.
I'm really excited to explain to Ray, not necessarily like celibacy and like all of that, because back then that was the thing, was like keep your legs closed, be a good girl, and like don't have sex. But that actually wanted me to have. I then was like, oh well, I'm gonna
When
go.
you say no to a kid, it makes them want to do it.
So I'm
don't
excited.
smoke weed. Oh, I will.
I'm just excited to explain to Ray like the knowledge behind it, saying like, you know, you will be successful. Like I think I forget the exact stats, but like the 3 ways to stay out of poverty is not have kids before marriage, to go to school and graduate, and to, I forget what the other one was.
Don't get arrested.
I think it's get married. So there's 2 person in the household. So I don't know. Just I'm excited to give her knowledge. I'm excited not to tell her like she shouldn't do things. I'm just excited to give her the knowledge and then hope that she trusts me and can tell me what she's feeling and what she wants to do. Because like when you tell a kid not to do something, they're going to do it. So
Oh God, yeah.
You learn that at a very young age with my 4-year-old.
We all did. How old are your kids, Corinne?
Oh, they're so young. She's 4, and then Declan is only 3 months. So I have a long way to go.
Oh wow,
you do. Yeah. So the 4-year-old, I've got a goddaughter who's 6. I mean, they're obviously aware. How is this time? Is it more? Oh, I get to see mommy more time. I mean, what does she think is happening in the world right now at 4 years old?
So that's the thing, is I tell her everything. I don't like to like just pretend nothing's happening. So I tell her it's coronavirus, it's COVID, it's a disease that's going around right now. It's an infection or whatever. And so she knows. We'll go to like Walmart with our masks on, and she'll be like, don't want to catch coronavirus. And like everyone's like laughing. And you know, she's back in school. She knows like she has to be careful. She washes her hands. She's really smart. And like it's really weird though. She's so smart where like I watch the news and she will ask, Mom, what are they talking about? Black Lives Matter. And I'm like, oh shit, dude. I have to explain all this stuff to her. And I think she's too little to comprehend that stuff. And I really don't. I mean, and tell me if I'm wrong, but she's too little. I don't want her going to school and seeing her black friends and being like, oh, I learned that Black Lives Matter and I'm not racist. It's
Jimmy,
like,
you're in the news.
I don't want her to think like that yet.
You're right. At that age, I don't think they even, you know, kids that age don't
comprehend it.
know what race is. They just know who's at school and who their friends are and who they want to hang out with. And
exactly.
I think that's good. You know, yeah, she is. You do have to. I think your approach is right. Like trying to be as honest as possible, because that's how you. To me, that's how you build a trust with your child. It's not make up things, you know, to deter talking to them about stuff, but. Yeah, that's such a young age.
Yeah, know? So because she's young, I want to make sure that all of her friends, it's a very diverse group. I don't want her only hanging out with white kids. Like that bothers the shit out of me. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody that does that, but like that's why I love Worcester, because it's so diverse. Like I want that for my kid. So
a kid shouldn't grow up with it. It should not matter. It never mattered when I was growing up. It's just like that's.
Well, it did with me though. No, when I was little, growing up in the cow town, there was only 2 kids that were black or like Hispanic in my school, and it was always there was racist jokes going around, like, oh, they're gonna probably steal something, or oh, you know, I wonder what their parents, how can they afford to live over here? Like that was the talk. Like,
but
and
your
I'm not
parents
saying
weren't
I
like that,
said
though.
those.
Your parents weren't like that, and that's what got you down the right road.
Not at all.
If your parents were like that, then you'd be like that.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
the way
I
my
get
parents
that,
were.
but I'm just saying that like that did exist back then, and I don't want that for my kid. I want her to love all races, and there shouldn't be.
You know what would be good?
Talk.
You, and it's going to take a minute because you've been in radio. We all have them. It takes a minute to get the shakes off once you're out, but you could do something pretty spectacular with your daughter on something like this that might be like, oh my God, because how many parents are out there, single mothers, let's say, that are dealing with their kids right now. And how do I talk to my 4-year-old? You might blow something up completely. All of a sudden you do a podcast or something with your daughter. It's like, you just never know. You have so much freedom. You're the program director now.
I have freedom, but Shu gets this. When his daughter was young, it's not as easy to have freedom. Unless, Isaiah, do you have kids?
No, I'm not. No, I don't. But I'm not talking about freedom like that.
But I'm just saying, like freedom.
Freedom
but
to do what you want on a platform like this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No. I don't have kids, so I totally respect people that do. It's a completely different dynamic that I don't understand. But I mean, freedom to say, I'm going to wake up this morning. I'm going to turn this thing on. I'm going to entertain, because you're an entertainer. I'm going to make people laugh and make them cry. Maybe I talk about a segment with my daughter, because
you don't
a lot
need
of people.
Permission.
No, you don't need any permission. You're the boss now. I'm tying it kind of back to the whole, it's scary as fuck being out there after getting fired from radio. We've all been fired from radio.
Yeah.
What do you
and
do?
The scary
But-
part is there's so many on-air talents that have gotten let go that now it's like just flooded with people that need a job.
When you started 10 years ago, it was declining. I started fucking 91. I mean, 96, it all started to decline when the Telecommunications Act was signed by Clinton, and it allowed everybody to buy shit, and the monopolies were formed. And the AM/FMs turned into Clear Channels, turned into iHearts, and they're all that way now, unfortunately, unless, you know, I think like the River maybe is a smaller independent type of thing, but everything else is so fucking big, and it's decisions made in San Antonio, Texas, and boom, you're gone. I mean, it was 96.
So,
it all really changed in my world. Right.
My question for you guys then is, when did you guys hear about podcasting first and like think it was a joke? Because I went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting when I was 19 years old. So that was forever ago. It was like 2010. And I was like, this is a joke. I'll never do podcasting. Like, that's for losers or whatever. And like that was like, nobody's going to podcast. And now look at us.
Well, I don't look.
You're
in the
absolutely
mirror.
right. Look at us. It's for losers. Yeah,
absolutely.
You're absolutely
like,
right, Corinne. You called it.
Well, you know, the funny thing, Corinne, it was Josh's idea, and he's a fucking loser. So look where we are. It's all his damn fault.
But no, I think even like 3 years ago, there was still a handful of people. Even when AF was going down, there was still some people that were like, can you even make money off of podcasting? I'm like, yeah, you can. Look at fucking Joe Rogan and Fighter and the Kid. And like all those guys make millions of dollars a month off their
I never
podcast.
knocked it because it's a platform. It's just another place to do things. And whether it's a radio station, TV station, taking your phone, TikTok these days, I mean, it's
the same art form, but it's just like a different way to reach the people.
You know what's crazy is I was watching
it's different, all right.
Oh, it's very different.
Oh, it's different.
We're back in medieval times, for God's sake.
There used to be a sign behind me that said WAF, and now I'm in.
Burn the witches. Burn them.
You know what's crazy is I was on YouTube actually because I was looking up like microphones to use for podcasting and stuff like that. And a guy was like, you know what? If you are hesitant to do podcasting because you're like, it's so oversaturated, think about this. There are more people on YouTube right now. And it's it's like millions and millions
a minute
more than podcasting. So now is the time to get into podcasting. And
here's the microphone we use. See it?
Well,
that's
so
the microphone.
It's funny too, because when I started YouTube, I was very like, oh, I'm never going to get anywhere. But now I have videos that are like over 15,000 views and
that's
like
awesome.
Thousands of views. So it's like, if I just stick with this, maybe I can make it like that.
Yeah.
It's just,
that's the key. You got to be consistent.
Stick with it.
You got to stick with it. That's the whole key. You know,
I think there's always insecurity in radio, though, right, Mike? We always did. Any of us ever wake up going, "Oh my God, I'm the balls"? It was always like, do people really like this? It's something in our DNA that allows us to yap all the time, but then we always stop and go, "Was that good enough?" But that fucking drives me every day, man. Every day. If I don't think I'm good, do better. Just keep going.
Yeah. Well, that's a sickness. That's Jeff Charles from WHJY used to say. Radio is a sickness. Yes. It's something where we have to like broadcast ourselves because we think we're the shit, but at the same time, we also think we are shit. So it's like a sickness that we fight, back and forth within our heads. I don't know if you guys
home, I'd be like, who the fuck do you think you are? You're so stupid.
Right.
Oh, Josh beats the shit out of himself all the time, and I'm not giving him shit right now. It's like, but that makes you fucking better. And I love the fact that you don't think you're good enough, Corinne, and then just go look at one of your videos. 15,000 views. That's nothing to fucking sneeze at ever.
No, that's great.
The people getting 6 views that think they're the shit are shit.
Oh God.
Right.
Oh.
And we know a few people, I won't name names, that would call us all the time to tell them how great
they are. Fucking losers.
Yeah. Listen, a friend of mine, I don't know if you guys know Jack Gill. He used to work at AF. He was okay. So Jack has had a podcast for, I think, like almost, I'm thinking it's like 10 years. He started doing this way, way, way back. And I remember Greg would make fun of him all the time. How's your little internet radio show going? And now he's not like Rogan or anything, but he's stuck with it. And he's got, he's just right. And it's just a matter of, like I said before, a successful podcast, I think it has to be real. Your passion has to be real and people will recognize that. The real challenge is getting it in front of people. Like you said, there's a million out there, but you've got 15,000 views on a video on YouTube.
That's huge.
Take advantage of that.
Well, the thing is,
that's
though,
almost a sold-out garden per video.
There's always there's always strategic things though, like or strategy behind everything. So like a lot of YouTube stuff, people go on YouTube to look up how to do something.
Yes,
So,
I
like,
do that. I am that person.
yeah. So like that's why my videos in that time got that many views, because I would always start with how to, and then it would whatever.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
all
you
about
always
the
have to.
algorithm.
It's all about giving someone something. They don't want
Right.
to listen, like other than entertainment, of course, but like to give someone information. So that's my other problem with podcasting is I need to make sure it's structured where I'm giving my input or giving certain information, or I'm benefiting this person's life. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if not, then there's no point in them listening.
Well, it's the same thing as radio.
I have to,
same thing.
Well, I have to counter that, Corinne, because if you listen to a Joe Rogan podcast, aside from the entertainment and showing you fucked up videos of spiders that lay egg sacs in your eyeballs,
Oh God.
you know, and talking about what CBD is better than the other. I mean, I guess that's useful
CBD
information. But he's not doing a how-to thing. He's kind of just shooting the shit with someone in a very compelling way.
He's pretty big on the entertainment platform though. He doesn't need a how-to anything.
No,
Yeah,
but my thing is I think the reason why Joe is so big is because of his interviews.
Yeah, he's a great interviewer.
Sure. Yeah.
That, like,
And
without
that's-
his interviews, I don't know if he would be that big.
Right, but he didn't start out saying, "Hey, I'm Joe Rogan. Before I talk to Elon Musk, I want to show you how to fix the ball cock in my toilet."
The
You know,
ball
he didn't-
cock in my
he didn't-
toilet.
Yeah, that's the
Wow.
thing that, you know, measures the level of the water.
No, I know. I just love that
Oh,
you
okay.
threw out ball cock.
I know my way around a ball cock. You know, you become a homeowner, you got to learn those things.
I have
you know?
no idea what a ball cock is. What?
It's
But the
thing
fact that you
keeps the
said
water
it-
level there, you know,
Dude,
It's like,
hey Josh, for the title of the show, we talk with your girl Corinne and hashtag ball cock. Just put that up.
I've already written down the time for what the promo is. I know
Oh,
my
great.
way around a ball cock.
listen,
Wow.
ball cock is an
Wow.
important part of your sanitary system in your house.
So are
okay?
you saying that in Chaz they have no ball cocks because they have no toilets?
I'm saying
Good
in
guns.
Chaz, the ball cocks are going to give away pretty soon if they don't get maintained.
Well, I just think it's hysterical because the mayor was like, "It's just like a party. It's just like a block party.
Stop
It's the
it.
summer of
Stop
love."
it.
And
Right.
then now all of a sudden, now she wants to get rid of it. She's like, "All right, now it's people are getting hurt.
Oh,
people are
she's had
getting
enough.
raped.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
people are
it's
getting
about-
raped. It's
Yeah,
fucked up
right.
in there."
It's about public safety. Now, at first she was saying that because I think she was diffusing a potentially violent situation.
Diffusing
saying
or
this-
pandering? Because I don't agree with
No,
that.
no,
at
no.
all.
I say it's diffusing. She was just saying, okay, they're there now. I don't want to send in tanks or anything like that. But
Why?
now because she thought it would just play out. She thought it would play out a lot sooner than it's been going on. And
they
now
get
She's
the
an
point
idiot.
where
Well,
people are
she
getting
thought
hurt,
wrong.
and she's still responsible for the lives of those people. So people are getting hurt now. Now she's got to stop it. But in the beginning, if they had sent in riot police and you had armed people on both sides, that could have been a much worse situation.
I
than
mean,
it
I'm
is
going to be
now.
honest. I am
Please.
very extreme. And I think, like, we need to take over America again. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, the whole taking down of statues, all of those things. I don't care if you want to take down that statue. I'm fine with it. But let's get it done in a smart way where people aren't getting crushed by a statue or dying.
Also,
or
take down the right statues. Like,
Right.
I
Okay,
heard something
well-
about them taking down Abraham Lincoln. Like, didn't he free the slaves?
Well, there are like aspects around Abraham Lincoln, though. There are like things like I was reading that the reason why he wanted to do that was so that way he could make money in the end or something. It was
No.
weird.
The reason why is because England and France were anti-slavery at the time, and during the Civil War, that's when this country was at its weakest. So to keep England and France from supporting the Confederacy, which they were doing because that's where they got their cotton and their rice and their tobacco, was to sign the Emancipation Proclamation. Not only did he free the slaves, but he kept European powers from intervening in the Civil War and supporting the Confederacy because they couldn't
Then
support.
what did I
They
hear?
couldn't morally support a nation that established on slavery.
I know,
Think
but
about what
I
just
heard
Mike
like
said. Think
some
about-
leftist that was like wicked, that hated Abraham Lincoln, and he explained it. And I kind of understood where he was coming from, but I don't have the
But think about what
information.
Mike just said. What Mike just said is a snapshot of history. It's education. I just learned a little bit there. I'm not a big fan of erasing history. Is it all right? No, we've made a shitload of mistakes as a country. But if you rip
But
it
we're
down
not.
and but hold
No,
on,
you're
if
not-
you-
you're not.
but if it gets all ripped down, I'm not saying it's all getting ripped down. You're not going to learn shit in 50 years. If
Do you
those
really care
statues
about a
aren't.
statue? Do you really care
That's
about
not
statues?
true. the statue, tearing down a statue is not erasing history. Banning books is erasing history.
Is that
right?
next 1984?
Regulating listen, I lived in Richmond, Virginia, as an example. All right. They also have a Museum of the Confederacy. And that's where they're talking about putting all these statues. They're not going to tear down the Museum of the Confederacy because that's a place where you go to learn about the Confederacy. You learn about the Confederacy in libraries.
You got to keep learning.
Yeah.
You have to.
Tearing down a statue is not erasing history. If you just
Listen.
pay attention in 6th grade history class,
Yes.
you'll know all about the Confederacy.
Yeah, if I was Black and I was walking by a statue that made me upset, or I had to explain to my daughter like this was a racist, like that would upset me. So like I don't think certain statues should be around.
Are fine. Those certain ones are fine. But is it starting to get out of control? Yes or no?
Well, there is another statue they want to take out, and I can't figure out the
Rocky.
president's name. No, it's
Andrew Jackson?
Nope, not that one. It's another one.
William Howard Taft?
Nope.
Was it Harding? Because if it's
Nope.
Harding, that's because they're fat shaming. Okay? Harding had a weight
No,
problem.
damn it. What is
wasn't
it?
his fault.
I'm getting
Presidency
pissed.
is a stressful job. He's stressing.
Google.
I am. I'm so pissed off right now because this president was like super against slavery. So for them to do it makes no sense. I was listening to Ben Shapiro about it the other day.
Well, Corinne is looking this up.
Eisenhower?
I'd like to Eisenhower?
I don't fucking know. I gotta look.
What were we gonna do, Mike?
I was just going to say thanks to our sponsors again, Garage Doors
Yes.
Plus, Wolfpack Coffee, Invoke Media Group, and Boston Exterior Remodeling. And don't forget, you can go to breakingtheicepodcast.com. You can listen to all the podcasts, and you can also leave us messages and check out our merchandise.
Yes,
have you
we
gotten
have
any
merch.
merchandise? Any
I got my
merchandise
cheddar
yet, Corinne?
shirt.
Look at that. That's nice. I like that.
want.
Josh. Oh, that's the
I-
penis shirt. Yeah, see the penis on the back?
Not only did we get the cheddar shirt, but I got cheddar back at my house next episode.
Can I design a T-shirt for you guys?
Yes.
I want you guys like on what is it called? Your heads on Mount Rushmore.
Mount
Limbaugh?
Rushmore.
Oh.
And I
On
want
Rush Limbaugh.
and I want Rush Limbaugh, leave him alone.
That's freaky.
And I
are
want
you
the
gonna be the
chicken in
fourth
it.
head?
I want the chicken in it, whatever the cock thing is.
Racist.
And I
cock.
want it to say like talk to me. Like that's what I want.
Done. Talk
With
to
a
me.
stripper pole up the middle.
Like that is just too perfect. Like you guys
Put
are a
this in the
bunch of
background.
goofs. Like that chicken is the
finish.
funniest part of this whole podcast right now. Like I can't deal with the fact that he has that.
Speaking of that
I wake
cock,
my daughter up with that thing. It's friggin' awesome to wake your kids up to. Just saying. You
Really,
might
like-
traumatize them. But,
my god.
that's why she does her homework.
that's right. So get the
Oh.
chicken.
So how many episodes are you into Cut to Corinne? Cut to Corinne is Corinne's podcast. How many
Yes.
are you in now?
I have about 5, and
Great.
I'm realizing as I'm doing it that I really want to start interviewing more people for
Good.
different topics because I think it just is a better conversation than talking about celebrity gossip and shit. So, for instance, yesterday I had one of my friends on. He's a teacher in Philly, and he is really big into Black Lives Matter, and he is a huge liberal, and I'm very conservative, as you guys know. So
No.
we discussed the Black Lives movement. We discussed his new song that he actually just came out with in regards to Black Lives Matter and police brutality. We talked about being friends, but coming from opposite ends.
Good.
We talked about a bunch of different stuff. And then I'm going to have on my pastor next week or this week.
That's
I don't
cool.
know. I have to figure out when she's available. She isn't sure because we're going to talk about how they want to take down Jesus statues now.
Oh, see, I
What?
don't agree
see.
with that because religion is a personal freedom.
And he was an
You know,
American
why-
kid.
And why would they?
Oh.
Yeah, why would they
Yeah,
want to
so-
take down? Why would they?
Because
want
it's
to take
getting
down
out of
statues Jesus?
control. That's
So, but
why.
I'm going to talk to her because her thought is so different than mine and what we're saying because she's like,
You almost said her ass is so much different than mine.
don't disrespect my pastor.
You
So
just said
she-
that.
Well, her thoughts are so different than mine where she doesn't even care about the statue. She's just
Yeah.
like, Jesus never wanted that. Jesus just wanted to help and to help
Right.
the oppressed and to do all these different things. So he doesn't care about statues. You want to take down the statue because that's not what Jesus is about. He didn't want us to idolize him. He didn't want ideal. He didn't want that. So it's just
Right.
like weird, her thought process. So like, I want to talk to her because I'm like y'all, where I'm like, don't take down my Jesus. But like she's just totally different.
See,
so I'm
that's
excited.
what you're gonna love that about your podcast, because think about it. You're thinking about who to have on next. Your brain is widening from radio. Nothing wrong with radio. I adore radio. I'd do radio again in a heartbeat. But your brain is going to be so much more open to, okay, could you have ever put your pastor on amp? Nope. Could you have ever put your best friend on amp? Maybe a little bit. But this way you can really go into things that make Corinne. And if I liked you on amp, I'm super going to like you now. Even if I disagree with what you think, it doesn't matter. You're entertaining.
Yeah, and I like to look at both sides.
And you're passionate about it. That's what's important.
Very.
You're passionate about talking to your pastor and your friend, and that makes the conversation more real. And that's what people want. They want it to be real.
If people don't like you for that, if they don't like you for that, then fuck them. Who cares?
And that's what Rogan did. He just talked to his comedian friends until the podcast got so big that Elon Musk was like, hey, can I come on?
Who is Elon Musk?
Twice.
How do he does stuff with spaceships and things and cars.
Elon Musk, SpaceX,
Tesla. Have you ever seen a Tesla? How do you not know?
Josh is so excited.
Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Yeah, he did excellent.
This is the one time he got to do that, Corinne, because normally it's us doing that to him. Like, how do you not know who was the one
Musk, yeah, he's a pioneer in the electric car game.
He invented the flamethrower.
He didn't. He made a flamethrower and marketed it like a genius, and actually sold it he said it was for melting snow and ice, and I almost bought one.
He has a cool ass name.
That from a Stephen Wright joke.
So I only know him from Tesla, but like everybody is making him out like he is like this god. So I don't understand.
He's got ideas that are pretty amazing and
a lot of money.
When it comes, he's got a lot of money, but his ideas about like renewable energy and space exploration and stuff like that.
He's a god, and Jeff Bezos is Santa.
Yes,
Jeff Bezos is a douche. I hate that guy. I don't like him. He's a
Santa.
He just looks like an asshole.
He is. Because it's Christmas every day, right? Yeah.
Literally, Jeff Bezos pisses me off because sorry, I interrupted you, Shu.
That's okay.
Friggin' Whole Foods. I was gonna work there, but then he took away healthcare from Whole Foods, and I was like, "Fuck you!" Like that's where I wanted to work. Anyways, moving on. What a douchebag.
Well, you should look into Elon Musk. He's a really interesting guy. Listen, he's been on Joe Rogan twice. Try to check out those podcasts when you have time. I know with somebody with kids, 3 hours is a large chunk of time to devote to listening to a podcast, but try to listen to as much of it as
I put my kid in the pack and play when I see Alex Jones, so we're good.
Okay.
Oh my
Alex
God.
Jones. Oh
so
my
wait,
God.
so can I
Alex
say something?
Jones.
I'm
So
sorry.
married to Fox.
So no one in the conservative realm likes him. Everyone hates him in the conservative talk. No, they hate him.
He's InfoWars. He's in his own planet.
Oh, he's the polar opposite of that. Never mind.
Sorry.
Obama ate hot dogs made out of children.
So I liked.
That's where I've heard him before. Okay.
Listening to him, but then I watched his interview with Megyn Kelly from forever ago, and it was just so sad to see the victims of Sandy Hook, like their parents, come on and just saying what had happened, and he still was like, "I don't know if it was real. There's this, that, and the third." Like that broke me so hard where I was like, I don't even think I can watch him anymore. Like even as a joke, like he's just so disgusting for saying something like that.
I always thought he was interesting just because of the conspiracy theories he comes up with. And I love that stuff, but it was the Sandy Hook thing where I was just like, I'm done with you, because it was like, what, 23 kids?
Yeah.
26 kids?
Oh, yeah.
And
this
or 26
person had to bury
people.
a 6-year-old, and I was just like looking at his dad, and he was just like, I can't imagine that. Like, could you imagine a douchebag just being like, "Oh, it probably was fake"?
Also, why would you pick that to be the hill that you die on? Like,
right? Yeah,
he's trying to make the most noise and be an asshole.
There's a guy who's never set foot in Sandy Hook, and it was just heartbreaking. That story is just so awful. And then to hear someone actually say that, and I can't even imagine how the parents feel losing their child, but then having some guy who's got a huge platform in the media saying that it was all fake. I wouldn't, I can't, I'm just getting really upset right now.
I drove into that.
No, that's all right, Corinne. That's all right. I'm glad you brought it up, because
I drove into that town.
Fucked up things can get.
My uncle lives in
Pizzagate's real though.
Right. My uncle lives in Yorktown Heights, and I was coming back shortly thereafter, and I pulled into that little town, and I've never seen anything like that memorial ever before, and I can't even put into words how fucked up that was. The whole street it was just this one street with one light, and it was fucking lined with tents and teddy bears and cards. And I had to go. I was driving right fucking by it. I'm like, I got to go in and pay my respects. And it was like, I don't even know how to describe that. And how anybody could say that was fake or even discuss that is fucking nauseating.
Yeah, it's just disgusting.
It was.
And it also ruins it because he actually has some good conspiracy theories.
Didn't he predict, or not predict, but didn't he know about Epstein's Island? And everyone was like, "You're fucking crazy." And then
if he knows about it, that means he was fucking there.
Well, a lot of people were there, and we vote for a lot of them.
True. Yeah,
we don't really. About how Hillary Clinton just is still in court and lost her whole thing about Pizzagate, pretty much, and nobody's talking about it.
Can't find any information on that. And speaking of Epstein,
that's
how
weird.
do you guys feel about Crystalia? We started the podcast with that.
Oh, that's
I don't
right.
think we ever touched on that.
I don't think we have all the, or I don't have all the.
I don't have all the info on it.
But again, I don't want to think that about Crystalia, but
Me
at
either.
the same time, guys.
What's the story?
We just don't know him. Supposedly he was like flirting or
He
making offers to teenage girls.
Yeah,
but he says he doesn't know they were teenage girls. That's his thing.
Oh my God. This is
Who
what
is
you
this
guys are
fucking
talking
guy?
about.
Who
Oh
is
my
he?
God. No, this is crazy because if you've looked it up, he plays a pedophile in every single one of his movies or TV things.
Yeah.
So
Like
it's
really?
like Hollywood knew that he was doing this shit and he could play it. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, if you watch him in You, it's the second season on Netflix. That's literally what he plays, is a pedophile.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know that Hollywood knew this, but again, I don't have
You have to
all
have
the
an idea
information.
if she's
But
right
from
about
what
that.
I've seen, there was, like we started talking about, it's very tough to tell how old some of these girls are on social media.
Oh, fuck off, dude. Fuck
What?
off.
Thank
No. Fuck off. You
But there
look at a girl that's 16 now. Yeah, she can do all these crazy things to her and her body. But guess what? You fucking ask.
But from what I've heard is he had asked and he hasn't released it, which I don't know why he hasn't, which is very like suspicious. Like if someone's coming after you, wouldn't you be swinging back kind of hard right now? He's saying that they told him that they were older than they were, but from one of them that I saw, that once he found out she was 16, he like blocked her, or I don't know. It doesn't look good.
I'm sorry, but if you have to ask anyways, normally that's a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're actually having that conversation, that's fucked up, and that's bad news. I don't know. Again, I don't have
Shu,
all
how
the
do you feel
information.
about that with you having a 15-year-old?
Well, I'd be friggin' just sickened if Crystalia was hitting on my daughter or anybody
Oh, God.
older than she is. Yeah, but it's just, again,
Nasty.
we were just talking about the media. Do we know all the facts?
We
And
don't.
like,
We get shit fragmented.
you could
everywhere.
say, okay, this guy spends a lot of time on the road. Maybe not so much these days, but he spends a lot of time on the road. That could fuck with your head. He meets a lot of different people or stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I have enough info to actually legitimately comment on it.
Imagine
right
if more
now.
people said that in the world. What you just said right there. I don't have enough information to open my fucking mouth.
Yeah, because I
But
just
it is
found
a
out
li-
about it yesterday. So.
But it is
I
a
don't
little
know- I don't
weird
know
that he
anything.
always plays a pedophile.
I'm
It
going
is
to
a
look
little
that up.
weird.
I'm going to look that up. That's creepy.
And I don't
No.
know if Hollywood knew that he was, and that's why they cast him. Maybe he's just really good at playing that part.
And why is he really good at playing that part?
Because he is one.
And it's
I
even
just-
creepier how in the Netflix show, You, the second season, oh, really, Isaiah?
My God,
What?
Where are you now?
find some
I mean, what-
walls.
I'm moving. There's people walking up,
But
and I'm
I just-
saying racist cock so loud I'm going to fucking jail. I have to move if I keep either that or I'm off this show.
Fuck. All right, just to let you guys know, I have less than 10% left on my phone. So if I disappear, it's because my phone died.
We don't do
Sorry.
show prep. We don't charge our phones,
Oh.
Corinne. People pay
Well, I
for
didn't
this.
know.
You're going to kill it.
I thought I would have equipment for this, but I don't. So sorry.
Okay, well, I just want to point out real fast, Shu, watch You season 2.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I saw
your daughter
the first
has.
season. Yeah, we saw
Well,
the first season. It was great. We
and
haven't watched
Workaholics.
season 2.
Does he
Crystalia
play,
literally plays himself.
Yeah.
Like as a comedian, says he has like a dungeon downstairs that like,
What the fuck?
dude, it's so creepy that like literally it's him. Like, it's
That's
him.
not right.
If you look up everything that he's being accused of and everything else, and then you watch that season, you'll be shook. You'll be fucking shook.
Yeah. So like
I wonder if this is a Brian Callen joke that just went wrong.
oh my God. Brian.
I don't know who that is again.
He's like good friends with Chris D'Elia. They do stuff together. They have like a feud, like a fun feud going on. And
What kind of stuff
bust
do they do
balls.
together?
They bust balls on each other all the time. They show up at each other's shows and stuff like that. Yeah, it's really. He's actually a really good friend. But I'm wondering if like Brian Callen said something and it just got out of control.
But again, like I would like to think Chris D'Elia wasn't doing that, especially because he was super nice to me when I first started out in comedy and like when I went.
Because you're a guy.
But
wait, how old were you?
And you're not 16.
Exactly. I was thinking about this. I was like, you know what? I was like 18 or 19 when I first started doing comedy, and when I went out to LA, I met him, and he like helped me get like some spots at open mics.
Did you look like a 16-year-old girl?
I did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I did, and then a few years ago, he blocked me on Twitter and Instagram out of nowhere. I don't know why, and I think maybe because I aged out.
Oh, Jesus!
I'm getting really upset with Taylor Swift. Ugh.
What?
Why? What did she do? What did she do all of a sudden?
What happened?
It's so when I look at Taylor Swift and how political she's gotten, I've just been like, I'm just getting so aggravated. Like, because she's so talented, but she has no fucking idea what she's doing.
Freedom of speech, though. She can just say, everybody can say whatever they fucking want on Twitter. That's
I
half
know,
the problem.
but this
Half the
Equality Act that she's pushing for,
Don't know about
everything
it.
that she's doing, it's just, it's like,
You know why I don't know about it?
do
Don't
you-
pay attention to it. Don't
Do
pay
you
attention
just
to it. Block her.
do you just disagree with her, or do you think that since she is a musical artist, she shouldn't be giving her political opinion?
No, I just disagree with her. I think that she has every right to say what she wants. I think it's actually really awesome that she does. And I loved I think it was called Miss Americana. It was her Netflix. No, was it called Miss? I don't know. She was on Netflix and she did a whole thing on it and how upset she was with Trump and how upset she was about her governor in Nashville, and she didn't want them to win, and then they didn't win, and it was like this big thing. I don't know. But the whole time I was watching it, I was just like, you're not spitting all of the facts. You're only putting out things that make you sound smart or like you know what you're talking about, but you're not reading the fine print of all these bills and everything else that she's pushing for. And
I'm sure there's
I'm
sure there's plenty of celebrities that just do it because they're looking for. I'm not saying
All
she's
of
doing this, but they're just trying to.
I don't think she's doing it for publicity. I think she genuinely really likes talking about it, and she really thinks she's doing good. I don't think that she's doing it to gain publicity. She doesn't need that.
Well, then
You should get her on the show. Just get her on the show, Corinne.
More people need to say what
it doesn't hurt to ask.
Contact.
Right?
It doesn't hurt to ask because sometimes they say yes. I learned that.
Right.
Like you can ask anybody anything and they'll just say no, and that's fine. But sometimes they say yes. So it doesn't hurt to send
The
an
amount of
email
people that have come
or
on
anything
this
somewhere.
podcast.
I know, right?
I just started
God.
poking at Chris Taylor Brown from Trap because we wanted to talk. He's like, "Fuck it, I'll come on your show." We're like, "Yes, come on."
Right?
Yeah.
And that
Doesn't
almost
hurt
has
to ask.
Nickelback coming on.
And more people should say what Mike said. I mean, more people really should. To your point, Corinne, she irritates you because she doesn't have the facts. More people should fully educate themselves before they open their fucking mouths or put shit on social media. But
I think she is educated. I think that it's
fully,
just
though,
that
before you
she's
take a
making
stance.
it.
Fully.
She has to understand these young girls are looking up to her, and they're not looking up the information. So
She
they could
becomes their
hear
resource.
Equality Act or there's a one about women and anti-violence and stuff, but like there's more to it. I forget what it's called. But long story short, she's just putting this out there and these kids are not looking it up and they're just going to vote however Taylor Swift votes, and it pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah, run your show. Go.
Isaiah, your sunglasses are obnoxious, and I can't stop looking at them.
Sorry, I keep bringing up politics. I don't mean to.
No,
Yeah, we're
that's
done.
okay. Corinne,
Show's over.
you're passionate about it. Yeah.
Talk about it on
All
the
right.
podcast. This might be
Yeah,
the
do it on.
direction.
Plug your podcast again. Where can people
Go.
find your podcast?
So you guys can find my podcast anywhere, whether it's Google Play. Is that what it's called?
I think so.
So I already don't know that.
You're good at this.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you feel like listening to podcasts, it's there. Cut to Corinne. I talk about literally anything and everything, but we definitely get into certain topics on each episode, whether it's politics or it's celebrities or it's
The
just
Mayans.
God, anything,
and-
mom stuff, everything. Baby daddy issues. Oh my God, I'm having my baby daddy's new fiance on with me next week. I'm pumped.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my God.
That's awesome.
That guy. I feel bad for that guy.
That guy. That'll probably be a really good show.
Yeah, that'll be an awesome show.
It's like
Hey,
Modern
so
Family.
how can people get in touch with you, like on social media and stuff?
You can follow me at your girl Corinne. My mom's an idiot, so she spelt it wrong. She put YAGURL. Like the fuck?
Jesus,
Who the
really?
fuck spells girl like that? It's just the girl
Right,
Corinne.
girl. Yeah.
I
Oh my
can't
God.
deal. But
That's
anyways,
awesome.
so
Has your mom
I'm
been on the show?
no, but I'm getting my dad on this Thursday.
Okay. Good.
Nice.
Josh
Make it as
doesn't know
real
that
as
yet.
possible. He's not paying attention.
I'm what?
Who?
All right. Are we wrapping this up?
I think
We're
we
done.
are.
Okay,
I'm gonna go in
so
the castle.
make sure you check out the
Oh, God.
thank you for the wedding, breaking the ice.
Garage door. Boston exterior remodeling. Isaiah, stay with me. Isaiah.
Coffee.
Good, Isaiah. Oh,
There we go.
fuck. Yeah, so just
You
subscribe.
were
and
saying,
rate
Mike?
us. Just subscribe to the Breaking the Ice podcast and fucking rate us. And I'm fucking leaving.
Just
Corinne, I
5
love you.
stars.
Don't
I
ever
love you
get
too so
overwhelmed, all right?
much.
I love
You're
you,
the
baby.
best. I love
You'll
you.
do-
Got
you'll
your
do
Thank you,
fine.
Corinne. Thank you.
Oh,
for
I
coming
love
on the
Shu
show.
so
he's
much.
done.
I
He
literally
gets
love
so
him.
angry. He gets so mad.
We live
Well,
in one room.
There's
Wake her
that.
up with your penis, guy.